Factsverse presents Man buried 42 school buses to make a doomsday shelter. There are many people who try to prepare for World War III or a nuclear war. Some people take their end-of-the-world preparations much more seriously. One man buried 42 school buses to make a huge doomsday shelter, and now he's finally showing people the inside of it. Before we get that grand tour, help us out by clicking the like button, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. The man in question is Bruce Beech. He lives in Hornings Mills, Canada. He's not the only man in the world to have a bunker out in his yard. However, his is a bit more unusual than most. Some people call him a kook, but he looks at himself as being prepared. Bruce lived in Chicago for many years before moving to his rural home in Canada. Survivalism is not something that he recently began thinking about. He started worrying about being unprepared during the Cold War. He thought that Hornings Mills was far enough away to start getting prepared. Between 1980 and 1985, Bruce had 42 old school buses shipped to his remote property in Canada. A lot of people were wondering why this man was stockpiling school buses, but he had a pretty good reason. Bruce started by digging out a huge underground pit. Next, he covered the buses with concrete to reinforce them, and today it is the largest functioning nuclear fallout shelter in North America. He calls it the ARC-2. The entire structure is about 10,000 square feet, and it can fit up to 500 people comfortably. He made sure to include rooms for various activities and to handle day-to-day tasks. Bruce says the shelter is virtually impenetrable. He says the shelter can withstand anything short of a direct nuclear attack. Since North Korea may not be focused on his remote fallout shelter, he is sure that he'll be safe if he needs to move there. Many of his neighbors think he's wasting his time maintaining the shelter, but he disagrees. He knows that in the event of a nuclear attack, that he will have everything that he needs to survive. ARC-2 is 14 feet under the ground. Each of the school buses that make up the shelter cost him about $300, and it took him 35 years to get the bunker equipped and ready for an emergency. Shay Bodie is an event organizer for the Ontario Prepper Survival Network, or OPSN. Bruce allowed Shay to see his massive underground bunker, and he says that when you see it for the first time, it's like being on a different planet. He says that when you hear about 42 school buses underground, what you expect to see is a lot different than what you really experience when going there. Inside the bunker are 2 industrial kitchens, a living room, washrooms with running water, and classrooms for children. The shelter has its own private well to ensure that there is clean drinking water. There are diesel generators to provide electricity, and there's enough fuel to last 3 months. Bruce also set up an electronic radio communication station so that he can transmit information throughout the United States and Canada. Bruce made sure that sleeping arrangements were complete as well. There are 2 gender-segregated bunks with cubicle-like storage spaces for residents to keep their personal belongings. Bruce also added a decontamination room to the ARC-2. This is the first room you enter before getting into the shelter. The room's designed to stop the spread of disease and radiation inside the shelter. The only issues that Bruce is having with the shelter are political and bureaucratic. Big surprise there. They say that Bruce built the shelter without proper permits and that he shouldn't have done it. Well, he has been taken to court 30 times now since building the bunker. The fire department in nearby Shelburne has been especially tough on Bruce. They sealed his bunker twice since its completion. During a preppers meet in 2015, they threatened to seal it a 3rd time, but it never happened. Bruce works hard to protect his shelter from flood, fire, rats, and vandals, and now he's also working hard to protect it from the government. All the while, his wife is by his side and believes in what he's doing. That's a good woman there. So what do you think after seeing this doomsday shelter? You think you'd be comfortable inside of it for a long period of time? Tell us in the comments below, and subscribe for more.